every human being has a reason why they are here. And within the scope of their thinking and their reasoning, there is so much that the divine has bestowed in them.
Okay.
But if they are timid, they will not be able to expose that.
Expose what has
Yes.
been. Okay.
You will be surprised of how many people have buried genius ideas and thought because they felt their thoughts were not important.
Yeah, welcome to yet another edition of ChatBox. I'm your host Ella, and today we are going to talk about the differences between being respectful, humble, and timid. I have with me here my co-host Donald as usual.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm very well. So today we are talking about being respectful, humble,
and timid.
Okay, I think it will be an interesting conversation.
Yes, very, very interesting.
Okay.
So let's kickstart.
All right.
What is the meaning of being respectful, humble, and timid? What does it mean to be respectful, humble, and timid?
Okay, so respect, humility, and timidity.
Yeah.
Well, I think respect is when you show admiration for someone based on something they've been able to achieve, their lifestyle, the way they do their things, and maybe the way they even relate with people.
Yeah.
Okay, so there might be somebody in the society that you have this particular level of respect or consideration for because they are able to sort of provide for people in a certain kind of way. They are able to go beyond themselves to be of value to not only their family, but they care about other people around them. And that might be the point of contact for you to want to respect them.
Okay.
It can also be like in a craft, in your career, where you find yourself. Maybe you are, let's say you are a beautician, and then you have someone that is a veteran in the trade that has, mastered their skill, and they are very good at what they do.
Okay.
So because you are aspiring to reach that level, you naturally gain that respect for that person because you know what it takes to be there.
Yeah.
And you respect the fact that they've put in the work to actually get there.
Yeah.
So respect is something that is usually, it's not, normally there's a saying that it says respect is not given, it's earned.
It's earned.
Yes, it's because something has to cause you to want to, give respect to someone. Yes, but on the flip side, when you look at humility, humility is when you have like low valuation of yourself. You don't feel like you are better than someone. Like you don't feel like someone is higher than you. You know, you don't feel like someone is also below you, no matter what you've achieved in life. Especially when you have achieved a lot, because it's easy to be humble when you don't have anything.
Yeah. But the moment you have something small, you start being arrogant.
Naturally, yes, the arrogance will start coming in. So humility is really tested when you have it all.
Okay.
And then you are able to sort of, see people as an extension of you, not that you are better than them.
Okay.
You understand that you are blessed to actually have in possession of something. It's not like the people that are not in possession of what you have are less of a human being than you.
Okay.
So that's also one way to look at humility. Another way to look at humility is also when maybe you are in a space, an office space, or in a career, and then you've achieved a lot, okay, and then you still don't look down on other people that you have achieved more than.
You still see them to be like who they are, regardless of their point of views.
Yes, their points of views, because you have the understanding that it's growth, and then you are blessed to have reached that level of growth. And they are also gradually, they have to make their mistakes and errors to be able to reach your level of growth. So now you are humane in understanding that they are on their path to becoming who you are, or where you find yourself. So you don't necessarily look down on them, because you understand that life is time and seasons. So that's also another way to look at humility. And timidity has a negative connotation, because timidity is when you have, you are anxious, you are not confident in yourself. So you don't regard yourself as your opinions, your views, your ideas matter so much, and it makes you very scared. I mean,
scared,
yes,
shy. I don't know.
Yes, a whole lot. It's a very awkward and an uncomfortable feeling when you're attending.
Very
so to me, that's the main difference in these three key terms.
Okay, but I want to ask you a question. What do you understand when someone says that humility is thinking of yourself less? It is rather thinking less of yourself.
Thinking less of yourself. Like I said, when you are elevated to a certain level, the accolades and people showing a lot of admiration, it can get into your head. And then because you feel you are this and they are this in terms of achievement, let me give a practical example. Let's say you are in an office and you have been elevated to maybe the position of a CEO, and then you have people that are maybe not average working class. Maybe you are taking bigger salary, you have the bigger everything, like in terms of allowances and everything. Naturally, you have to discipline yourself to a level to not want to actually look down on the people that are below you in terms of rank. So in thinking of yourself less, like you said, you are thinking of yourself less because now you feel like even though you are high, you are less. Because you identify yourself with these people. And there is an understanding that without them, your position is not even necessary. It's not important. Because they can't be up without down. They are the contrast of what you are. Without them, your position is basically useless. Yes.
So that means it is thinking of yourself less. Right.
Yes, thinking of yourself less. Just thinking of yourself less.
All right. What are the differences between these three?
These three.
Yeah.
I think when I was defining it, I threw in some of the differences unconsciously, but I'll try to highlight it once again. So I think the difference between respect and humility is respect is something that is earned through your works, your lifestyle, something you've achieved, your values, something, maybe you have a pastor that has a way of life that you admire, you so admire. So naturally it incites that level of respect for that person. Now you respect his ideas and views. Okay, so another way that respect is also seen, or the difference between respect, is when maybe you are in a group, let's say a school group, and there's a particular person that when you are having giving opinions, you realize that his opinions are always on point. And when you put it to practice, it works. Okay. Now, naturally, because he's proven that his words are positive and his words are effective, you have that respect for him whenever he's speaking. Opposed to someone that maybe says something that you feel like it's not really vital to the conversation you are having. So the same way, if you are with someone or you're around someone that they are consistently giving you their opinion about certain things and it's not productive, it gets to a point you might lose that respect you have for the person, not in terms of regarding their personality, but when it comes to the context of the work, because you've proven yourself that you've not, expanded your capacity enough to be giving opinion on certain things. So now all the things per your track record, all the ideas you've brought are not something we can use. So now it affects your level of respect in relation to what we are doing. Do you get it? So that's when they say respect is earned. You get it? It's not just given to people like take respect. And then the humility, the difference between respect and humility in this case, respect and humility are intertwined in a certain kind of way. Yes, they are.
And people actually get it wrong most of the times.
Yes.
I don't know. You give us the.
Okay, so I think humility is when you don't see yourself to be better than someone, no matter how you are elevated, or no matter how big your achievement is. You understand? But the respect, on the other hand, is when something that is you earn through your achievements and your lifestyle and the skill and maybe how much you have elevated yourself in a particular area. You understand? But humility comes after you've elevated yourself, and then people are looking at you. Okay, now that you are this big, are you going to look down on us? Are you going to disregard us because you see yourself as better than us? Because people normally say that when you start getting money, money gives you some level of arrogance and pride. Okay, so the moment you start experiencing some level of success, and then you are not able to sort of tame yourself to come down to the ordinary level of maybe average people that are also trying to get to your level, then you are not so humble. So respect, in this case, the difference between respect and humility is respect is something that is given to you per your lifestyle, per how effective you are on a particular area. And humility is, let's say, a virtue that you show, that people kind of feel easy around you because they don't feel too intimidated by your success. You understand? And timidity, on the other hand, is the negative aspect of what we are talking about. Is when you are not particularly outspoken. You don't feel so confident in your opinion on yourself. Maybe because of certain factors, and because of that, maybe most of the times your voice will be drowned, and people will not really give you the respect that you need because yes, you are not really showing off.
People get to ride on you, talk to you anyhow.
You
are not outspoken. Okay, so which one is obedience?
Obedience is when you are following an instruction. Okay, obedience is when there's it's like, that's more like a commandment. You are commanded to do something and you are following through with the instructions. Okay, so sometimes I think respect and obedience is kind of, it looks the same, but it's not the same thing. Yes, obedience is stand up, go here, and then you stand up and go there without questioning. So when you're obeying, you don't really take in consideration of your feelings and what really helps you. You are just obeying because you trust the person
in authority.
Yes, in authority. And before you can obey, I'm presuming that the person that is being obedient is like, let me say, a very reasonable human being like all of us. You would like to know that the person that you're obeying knows what they are doing. You get it? Because you won't obey someone. Imagine you are walking into a ditch and somebody say walk into the ditch. Are you going to walk?
You know very well.
Yes,
it's a dead end.
It's a dead end. You won't walk. So there should be a proven track record of the person you're obeying. That you can. It's like if you are a child at home, you know your parents can tell you that you should obey your parents because one, they're exposed to life experiences and they have your best interest at heart. So at least you can give them that benefit of the doubt. You can trust your obedience with your parents. Yes, so that's obedience.
Why do you think it's necessary to know the differences between these three: humility, timidity, and then respect?
I think it's necessary to know the difference because most of the times especially where we find ourselves, we very almost all the time, most of us get it wrong. We interchange timidity to be humility and respect to be something that is not. Because growing up,
like he said, timidity is humble. And
no, timidity is humble. I want to understand that.
Like what you said.
Yeah. Like you interchange.
Yes. When you are timid,
they presume that you are humble. Okay. That's the thing. But I think it's a very necessary conversation that should be had. I mean, unless the person you are dealing with is manipulative and doesn't have your best interest at heart. But being timid is not something that you should be encouraged to do in any way. The reason being that I feel sometimes there's so much in someone. Every human being has a reason why they are here, and within the scope of their thinking and their reasoning, there is so much that the divine has bestowed in them.
Okay.
But if they are timid, they will not be able to expose that.
Expose what has
Yes.
been. Okay.
You will be surprised of how many people have buried genius ideas and thought because they felt their thoughts were not important. You understand?
Okay.
And I understand where you are coming from with regards to humility and timidity, because especially in Ghana here,
yes,
most, especially elders, think that timidity is timidity. But I don't agree with that, but I understand it.
Okay.
The reason why I understand it is this. You see, you know, the colonial days, personally, I've realized that during our colonial masters, because they wanted to have like power over their slaves, and they were slave masters and everything, they sort of sold this idea of humility and respect to be timidity.
Yes.
So they trained them not to have an opinion, not to speak their mind, not to speak against what they think is right. They train them to be obedient without questioning. Do you understand? So that they will be good slaves. You understand?
Okay.
So in our side of the world, personally, it's something that has been passed on from our ancestors.
Okay.
You get it? So it's like it's a thread that has been passed on from our ancestors. So our parents are not intentionally making us feel like we are disrespectful when we want to have an opinion. It's something that has been passed on from their ancestors. You get it? So now, most of us don't feel particularly confident to speak.
Okay.
So geniuses are being killed. Geniuses are not being given the platform to express their genius.
They are not being outspoken.
They are not being outspoken. Because when you are with a typical example, when you are with a Ghanaian, I'm in Ghana, so I will speak based on where. When you are in a workspace and then your boss gives an instruction, even if you are heading towards a ditch, it's expected that you obey.
Yeah. And
the moment you try to, sometimes, even if you have to speak, you have to be very, 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 very timid. very.
You were about to say humble, but it's not humble.
No, you have to be very cautious with the way you even submit your opinion to your boss.
Okay.
But you see, in our local parlance, we have a saying that goes, "Adreni yan sandi bako for a trim." And though I might be grown, I might think I'm grown than someone, but a kid might see a blind spot that I'm not seeing.
Yes.
But if I don't encourage the kid to actually bring the opinion in a respectful way to the drawing board for us to work with, now your ego will make you feel like you are in charge. You want to feel like you are the boss.
Yes.
But in doing that, you are spoiling the work and the vision of the work. Do you get it?
Yes. But some bosses don't understand it from the way you have explained it.
Because it's not their fault. They've also been taught that way. And that is what they've also known since they were growing, to treat people that are above them that way. You're not supposed to have your opinion. You're not supposed to give certain... Even when you are being treated unfairly, you are not supposed to speak. The moment you speak, they will gaslight you to feel like you are being disrespectful. Not that you are being disrespectful. The person that is saying that knows that you are not being disrespectful. But it's like the ego, because he has experienced that chain of command since childhood, and he has also walked through it. So who are you to break the chain? You get it? But it's not something we should encourage, because we need bold leaders. We need bold young people to speak, to actually bring their opinions and ideas on board, because everybody's opinion is necessary in the community to sort of grow a community. And the community is not only like the community like Ghana, but in various workspaces. Because you don't know the mind that God, you don't know the blessings that God has bestowed in somebody's mind. But because you see them as below you, you are missing out on a very, very good investment. Because of ego.
And pride.
And wanting to feel like you are the one in charge. So the question is always like, are we timid or we are just humble? And what we know to be respect, is it respect or is just a form of sometimes manipulation for people to, or for people that are above us to feel comfortable that they are above us? Mind you, we are not in any way saying that you shouldn't respect people that are above you, because there should be a level of respect that you naturally should give to people above you, because you are aspiring to be like them. Okay. So naturally, by giving them that respect, I feel like you're activating the portals that will also lead you to sort of get to their level. Okay. But respect doesn't mean that you should be timid.
Why do you think that we usually confuse these three?
I think it's because in our side of the world, it's been ingrained in our psyche that being respectful or humble is equated to being timid. Okay, it's because of the same thing I spoke about. It's a culture thing. Mm-hmm. Somebody will say culture is peer pressure from dead people, and and I mean that's on a lighter note, but I mean that's how I see it, because the world, everybody is trying to be someone, and you can't carve a good part, or you can't have your way when you are timid, because we want to know what you also have to offer to the world. Not to be disrespectful, but if you are being treated unfairly, and then you are quiet about it, at a certain age, your parents, your mom, your daddy will not come to rescue you. They will not. They are expecting you that at this age you should be able to fight for yourself, stand up for yourself. And anyone that sort of gaslights you or manipulates you to feel like when you are not being treated fairly,
you should be quiet.
You should be quiet. The person doesn't have your best interest in your heart. I know a certain friend that was working with a boss, okay, and the boss told him point blank that, Charlie, the way you are, what you are is not respect. You are too timid. You think you are respectful. He told him to change, because he wants him to take charge of some positions he will give him.
And being that timid and thinking is respectful is not going to.
It's not going to help the position you want, because you have to meet with big men.
Yeah.
And the boss was concerned. So he was telling me that the boss told him, yeah, that's true. What he said is very true. That's a man that has your best interest at heart. Because if it was someone, he'd be happy that you are even like that.
You are even like that.
You get it? Yeah. So right now he's improving. Okay. Because the man has, told him that, no, this is the thing you are doing. It's too much. So you should learn how to speak for yourself. Let us hear you, what you have to say. Not what somebody else is saying. Have your own opinion. And when you are not being treated fairly, you should be able to speak for yourself. But one thing is, sometimes there are certain personalities that we gain while going through life. That was necessary for us to have in a certain period of our life. But when you graduate or you elevate from that period of your life, you have to drop it. So you have to unlearn certain things. Because maybe you needed that timidity to a certain extent at some level of your life. I don't know whether I'm permitted to make this analogy.
Please, you are permitted.
Okay, so there's this spaceship, these ships that go to space. There is this fuel tanker that they normally use. It's attached to the spaceship. Okay, and this fuel tanker contains some necessary fuel that is supposed to help the spaceship to sort of be efficient, to sort of cut through the atmosphere, to be able to elevate outside the surface of the earth. Okay. And the moment it's able to push through and exceed or extend beyond the surface of the earth, now this attachment to the spaceship naturally they have programmed in a way that after that it's useless. So it has to just break off, so that it will make the spaceship lighter, so that it can elevate wherever it's going. You get it? So I believe that certain times we are like this spaceship, right? There are certain behaviors that we needed to sort of have at some point. But when you get to a certain point in your life, you realize that portion, that stage of your life,
it's no longer.
It has served it, right? It's no longer needed, and then you have to let it go. It's how much you are determined to let go that will determine how high you will fly. You understand? So you get to a certain point, you should have the personal conversation with yourself and understand that maybe where you are now, there are certain traits that you're holding that will not particularly help you in reaching the next stage of your life. And you should be more than bold enough to want to put it into practice, unlearn and then relearn something more positive to help you to have a better life.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, this ends today's edition of ChatBox. See you next time. Bye.